Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dies Cast. I'm Russell-san, and with me I have...
Fishman.
When last we left off, Aquans and Jonas entered the final leg of their journey through this dungeon in the mountains near Lyria, where this fabled fountain was supposed to be. Along the way, they dealt with the sole remaining member of the other unfortunate adventuring party that seemed to have been following them through the dungeon up until that point.
Stalking is more like it.
Yes. It did not go well for her
No.
for several reasons,
Yeah.
which ranged from, well, the fact she was on her own, the fact that she was taken by surprise, the fact that she made some really, really bad decisions based on some terrible rolls, which happened off screen.
Yeah.
Following this and a brief stay in a restroom after a room where they were allowed to rest after they were solved the puzzle, they came to a great bridge which had numerous obstacles which they had to cross, including a death lock, which gave them considerable trouble.
The biggest threat yet.
And it was in a cage.
Yeah. What happens? You roll ones on your saving throws.
Yes. Following this, they made it to the end of the bridge and entered the Guardian's chamber where the fountain was. The Guardian turned out to be a specially summoned Coatl, a celestial charged with guarding said fountain, and they were forced to face it in battle. They triumphed, and both of them then took drinks from the fountain and were fortified by the fountain's magic before stepping through a portal which deposits them in a small ruin on the opposite side of the mountain range. Right there. And that is where we're going to pick up. So the first thing we should cover is the fact is we're 7th level now.
Yay!
At the end of the last session, we forgot to roll for hit points.
We get one more of these.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Yes. I rolled a 5. You also rolled a 5.
Yep.
All right, so that's 9 additional hit points for us.
Yeah. Woohoo! Can I ever have enough of those? As we proved with a death lock.
So that brings me up to 59.
59?
50 plus 9, yeah.
I thought you had more than that. Anyway.
So I will turn it over to you because you will be DMing this scenario, but that was the main thing. Also, the fountain, we mentioned it briefly last time. The fountain's magic allowed us to either get an ability score increase or get a feat. I believe we both opted for feats this time.
That's all I've opted for so far along, so why not just keep the trend going?
We'll probably find out what those feats are shortly.
Yeah. All right, so we have a little bit of record-keeping downtime because...
No, we have a fair bit of record-keeping because we picked up a lot of stuff in that 3-day dungeon, and we didn't stop to identify it at all at any point.
Yeah, well, we were kind of pressed for time, and also we had the stalkers after us, and of course the dungeon itself to deal with. No time to sit around identifying stuff, so we did that all off screen so that we don't spend the next 45 minutes going through that or doing that process here. But this is basically the rundown. We are going to take some time off. We got a nice ruin here. We're going to make a camp that's relatively secure, do our usual hut and familiars and alarms, and we're going to spend at least a day and a bit just not rushing anywhere and getting this all done. So which means we're going to identify all the items. We'll just tell you what they are.
Yes.
You want to finish writing up your book?
Well, I'm going to be working on it, yes.
Yeah, so that's going to happen as well. I want to make some potions because we burned through pretty much all of our expendable resources, all our one-shot stuff. So I need to make some more potions.
Including the ones from the robe, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, the robe is basically just a garment at this point.
Yeah.
It does have a few things on it, but nothing of any real value.
Yeah, I have 3 potions left. 2 regulars and 1 greater. You have 1.
I have 1 greater healing potion. That's
You want
it.
one of the lesser potions? I still have 2 of them. I can give you 1.
No, I'm gonna be making some. Hopefully, we won't get ambushed in the next little bit, and we'll be able to get that stuff done.
I still have 18 hours on my transcribing to do.
All right, so we can get started on that. So quickly, can you recap the magic items that we got, or do you want me to do that?
I don't have that right on me at the moment. I can try and find it, or
No, don't worry about it. Okay, we found magic items, and I will just quickly go through them.
yes.
As soon as I get to the right page. Problem when you print off a new character sheet, pages stick together. Okay. We acquired, because of her ineptitude, some of this equipment from her party members.
Yeah.
And also some stuff that they found.
And some stuff that we found.
Yes. There's a pearl of power.
Yep.
A robe of eyes.
Yes, we did. That one was I remember quite well.
Yes. A hand axe that's +1.
Yeah,
A +1 hand axe of returning. Those are off of her
the ranger.
The compatriot there, yeah. A periapt of wound closure,
which I have currently, because that was actually something we found.
Yeah. Tuning fork of opening with 10 charges.
Yeah, so basically the chime of opening, just slightly reskinned.
Yeah. Necklace of adaptation, which allows you basically to breathe any kind of, even in a poison environment, you get to breathe normally. We found also on top of that some stuff that we got ourselves, which is a glass jar, which once identified contains a salve or ointment that you can spread on a wound. There's 3 doses, and you regain 2d8 plus 2 hit points. It also cures poison and disease.
This is another magic item in the Dungeon Master's Guide, but I don't remember what it's specifically called.
Yeah.
It's someone's name, which is possibly copyrighted, so it's fine. We'll just refer to this as the ointment.
Yeah, salve, ointment, yeah, it doesn't really matter. We also got a fair amount of money and that sort of stuff, which doesn't really matter. Oh, I almost forgot. We got a blue gem, which is a crystal of summoning for an air elemental. And one other thing is ion stone.
Yes, the little pink rhomboid gem.
Yes, that once you tune to it, circles your head, and this particular one gives you +2 on your Constitution.
Constitution, yes. The thing that we risked an entire collapsing bridge for to get.
Oh, yeah. And I don't think I missed anything. I think that's it.
That sounds about right, yeah.
Of all of that stuff,
well, I'm already wearing the periapt.
You're wearing the periapt.
Yeah.
Sometime during this downtime, you're going to unattune to something and attune to the
Iron Stone of Fortitude. Yes.
Yep.
Because, well, I was the one who went unconscious last time.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I'm getting a +2 Constitution, gives me 7 more hit points, which will bring me up to 66.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quite nice.
Yep. And of all of that, I have no interest in any of it, except because of my alchemy. I am very interested in the salve we picked up, because I would like to be able to, during this short rest as well, start working on reverse engineering that so I can actually make it myself, because that sounds really useful. And that's basically as far as all that goes.
Yep.
Sorry for rushing through it, but we didn't really want to, like I said, spend 45 minutes going through
And
it.
we've already divided up the gold. I remember that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
We have money for when we finally do get to Lyria and find places where we can actually spend money.
Yeah. So you don't want the blue elemental gem?
No, I have my summoning spell already. This gives you something you can summon as well. I think that's perfectly fine that way. And
So we're going to be taking the day off, basically.
yeah, maybe at least. All right, we got here. It was not the beginning of the day,
No.
so we're going to take this partial day off. We're going to rest here for the night. Probably too tired, I think, to really get anything major done. Maybe cast a couple spells. So, I mean, I don't think we're up to anything major like researching and that sort of stuff at the moment because it was 3 hectic days. So this is basically just a half day off, and then tomorrow I think we should get down to some research and a few other things.
All right.
We'll see how it goes. Rolls may go well. Who knows? That
All right.
all fine with you?
Yes.
All right.
So at some point during this, I will unattune from the Ring of the Ram because it's the thing that is probably the least important to my character at this point, and I'll attune to the Iron Stone.
The thing I like the most. I liked you having that.
It's been useful.
Yeah.
But it is just a bit more firepower, basically.
Yeah, sorry. It has been a couple of iconic moments in the series that I really.
Yeah, Therian, the troll. There's a few of them.
Yeah, there's a few things where it just sort of, it sort of proved itself.
It's still here. You can attune to it if you want.
I don't like it that much.
Okay.
I like junk. You keep that. We'll see what
So
happens.
after I tune to this, my constitution goes up to to 20, give me a +5 modifier. I gain 7 more hit points, and I now have a floating gem orbiting my head like a satellite.
Yeah, it gives you the effect while it's orbiting.
While it's orbiting my head. I can stow it, and other people can try and knock it out of the air.
Seriously?
Yes. It's got an armor class of 24.
Oh, yeah, that's happening.
Yeah.
Be easier just to hit you.
Yeah, much easier.
Yeah, by 12.
Yeah, my armor class is half of its.
Yeah. All right. So, you can just do that whenever you want. While we're
It just takes an hour, so yeah.
Yeah, making camp, preparing supper. Like I said, the first night, I think we should just let our characters have a break.
All right, so hut, alarm, familiars on watch.
Yeah. Who wants the first watch?
I'll go first.
All right. As we're setting up,
yeah,
and the sun's just starting to get to the point where it's setting, we're getting ready to figure out first watch. A familiar pair of rock-like pillars rise out of the ground near our camp.
Oh, this guy.
And someone that we're familiar with steps through this portal.
Well, it does make sense. This lich-like creature, whatever it is, was the one that pointed us in this direction initially.
Yes. And he shows up. He's smiling, but then again, he doesn't have any other way of facial expression. So
yes, he has no choice in the matter.
Yes, but you do get the impression that he's actually quite happy. And he says, "Greetings. Mind if I join your camp for a few moments?"
All right.
He looks around, doesn't feel like sitting on whatever we're sitting on, produces a chair out of something and sits on that. There's nothing ostentatious, just a chair. And he says, "I am very pleased. I've been watching, and this has gone ever so much according to what I had hoped. Can't really plan these things, of course. I'm glad that my little bit of help worked out really quite well for you guys. And it's just that, like I said, very happy that you succeeded. Also managed to keep this fountain, which is a little bit powerful, completely secret. Or I should say, the stuff of legends. No one's going to know about it unless they decide to go through all of that themselves. What you decide to do with the knowledge is entirely up to you, of course. I'm just quite happy that the Court of the Seven, which, by the way, is a bit of inside information. They're kind of in a bit of disarray. They are licking their wounds at the moment. Apparently, some miscreants have eliminated 8 of their sorcerers, and they seem to be of the impression that an individual has done this. You guys have managed to keep your identity secret from them, which is very good for your life expectancy. You have done so well. I do feel obligated to give you a boon. Not really. Obligated is the wrong word. I feel that you are deserving of a reward. That reward is, because of my nature, is going to be in the form of a scroll. You can each pick a scroll you would like to have a copy of. If it's within my powers, I will write those scrolls and deliver them to you when they're done. So, is there a scroll that you would like?
Well, that's very sudden, I think to myself.
He's just patiently sitting there,
Yeah.
being dust off himself, waiting for a response.
Well, we did just gain access to a whole new level of spells, so obviously there's probably a few spells that we don't have access to yet that we probably want.
Yeah, is there one that you come pops into mind?
Hmm. I'm gonna need some time to think about this.
All right.
Okay.
We'll do that off camera, and you can assume like that.
Okay.
We'll work that out, and we'll figure that out later. I, on the other hand, or I should say, Jonas, on the other hand, had inside information because I planned this.
Yes.
And he has a suggestion for a scroll, and he asks if it's possible to get Bigby's hand as a scroll. I know it's a 5th level spell.
It is.
But it's a spell that he's really enthralled with. And
He being you, yes.
he being me. And the Lich agrees to that because it's not anything terribly, not like I'm asking for a scroll of wish or something. Yeah, that's great.
I guess if I had to choose between, I'd probably pick a 4th level scroll. I think I'd go with banishment.
All right.
Because we've been running into a lot of summoned creatures lately, and it would be nice to be able to deal with them.
Okay. So be it. And he stands up, thanks us again. Please enjoy a bit of downtime. I will let you know if and when the court becomes a thing. Right now, they seem to be hunkering down for the moment and trying to figure out what in the world's going on with all their plans. So enjoy a brief respite. And he bows, casts his spell again, steps through the portal, and is gone.
The other thing about the court at the moment is they're probably not going to be too much active because I think at this point we have 10 days left before winter set.
Yeah, it's not exactly something like that just goes click and all of a sudden, like in the old BC comics where 10 feet of snow just lands on the ground instantly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is getting colder in the mornings. At any point in time, we could end up with permanent snow.
Yeah.
Whatever. It will happen.
Admittedly, Ulrich is way up there.
Yes.
But this entire continent is basically in the same sort of...
Yeah, we are in the south, and it's cold.
Yeah.
They are, well, by foot, they are a few months north of us.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is not a large continent, so we're all going to have winter. Yeah, that's basically it. So at this point, you can roll your
Yep.
perception checks for your watch.
All right. Perception is 15.
All right. Have a look at that. Where did I put my dice? Oh, your watch goes by uneventfully, which is probably a good thing at this point.
Okay.
We were spent on spells,
Yes.
tired, and everything else.
All right. I'll wake you for your watch.
Yes, I
Get
wake
sleep.
refreshed and now have access to my 4th level spell choices, which is kind of nice, which I'll think about while you have your rest.
Mhm.
And I'll roll my perception checks for the evening. Oh, that's pretty good. All right. So you lay down your head to sleep,
Yeah.
and something happens that hasn't happened in a very, very long time for you. You seem to have a rather vivid dream. This dream starts off with you uh, standing at almost like a platform or hallway. It's hard to tell. It's like a dream as it focuses. And you see a set of set of stairways, a stairway leading down into hard to tell, sort of gives you that ominous, spooky, dungeon-like feel to it. And you're thinking to yourself that there could be obviously nasty things down there. And you decide, well, best to have a look. You move your hands into some complicated patterns and speak some words, which you don't remember or feel or whatever. And all of a sudden, beside you appears a creature. This is not a large creature, and it seems to be an amalgam of a number of different things. First off, it has a set of wings, but these wings are not feathery or leathery. They seem to be more the kind of membrane that would be most comfortable on a fish's fin. They're slightly blue and green in color, and the rest of it seems to be mostly frog-like. It has hind legs, but its hands are actually look like they are quite capable of manipulating things. They're not like just a frog's paw. On top of that, the most other most well-defined creature is it has but a single eye in the middle of its head, and it's quite large. And other than that, it sits there, or sorry, hovers there in the air, looking at you expectantly, and you mentally command it to check out what's down below. And it turns from you and eagerly starts gliding down in the hole. And one of the things you notice when this happens is there's a almost like a pinging sensation because it seems to have some form of echolocation, and it is now heading down to do your bidding. And then, as dreams are, it becomes less focused, shifts to other stuff. But you do notice again, which is really weird because this has never happened ever before. There seems to be a bit more of a sharp focus again to your dream. And this time, instead, though, you're getting a very strong might be the word. You're getting a sense of foreboding. Something is very odd. Something is seeming to probe and wants to see what's going on in your mind. Could you roll a 20-sided die for me, please?
All right. Am I adding anything to this?
You can add wisdom modifiers if you feel like it, and proficiencies.
So it's saving throw. Okay. Wisdom saving throw. 15?
Total?
Uh, yes. Wisdom.
Okay. As this slimy, slithery mind seems to want to probe into yours. All the years of mental discipline, even while asleep, you manage to shrug this off and you bring up your mental barriers and shove this mind away from yours. It's not any kind of mind that you've felt before. Like I said, it has that almost oily, slippery feel to it. At which point, and then you sharply wake right up, and you realize that someone or something was trying to read your mind.
Is there anything in the immediate vicinity for that?
I assume that's what you ask me. I said, I haven't noticed anything at all. And I assume together we will give a fresh fresh check here.
Yeah.
We do not notice anything.
Well, something was trying to read my mind, I say.
The alarms haven't been tripped.
No.
The hut is up. Our familiars haven't spotted anything. This is nothing in the immediate vicinity, then. Well, at least
Which
according
does not make this less concerning.
Yes. You still have a bit of your night rest to go through.
Yeah.
And I assume you go back to sleep.
Yes.
Or you clear your mind of that nonsense. The feeling does not come back. The rest of your rest goes by uneventfully. And you get your long rest.
All right. So I get 2 new portents.
2 new portents. We pass dawn, which means even though it doesn't matter anymore, your ring will recharge. My wand will finally get recharged. Oh, I rolled a 1. No, it doesn't. I'm still down a charge.
All right. Just out of curiosity. Yeah. So is the ring.
Still down a charge?
I rolled a 2, and it's on a D3, so it's only 1 charge it gets back.
All right. And that's morning comes. Do our usual routines, mark another day's worth of food off. This is something we're going to have to deal with soon. Well, not really soon, but we are getting a little low on food. They're definitely well past the halfway mark. And the day is yours. I know you want to do some writing in your book.
Yes.
Copy more spells in. I want to change the spells around on my ring. And one of the things I want to do is I want to try and send my owl to the dark forest and hopefully gather some mushrooms because
And hopefully not kill your owl.
Hopefully not kill my owl.
There was a windrake flying around in that area.
Yep. I will roll for those. You don't need to roll for anything, do you? Is that what you want to do today?
Yeah, because I'm taking the whole day. No, I don't have to.
All right. So you're going to do some transcribing?
Yep.
All right.
Gonna get a full 8 hours in, so that brings it down to 10.
All right. Let's see if that windrake is around. That was a bad roll. Oh, that's an equally bad roll. I guess we're going to roll off. Well, I don't think I'm getting any mushrooms, as I sense that my familiar has been made lunch of.
Oh, no!
That hasn't happened in a while. So, part of my day is going to be spent re-summoning my owl.
You've killed my familiar so many times.
Yes. Well, the most annoying part of that is I don't get the ingredients I need to make potions of heroism. So,
Yeah.
I guess that's that for then.
I think we still have 1 left.
I have a single potion in there, heroism, yes.
Yes, I used mine.
All right. the next thing I want to do, see now that went so well, is I want to, if you don't mind, I want to take 1 dose of this new salve that we've acquired, and I want to use it in my research to hopefully be able to make more.
Okay. You still haven't used that medicinal powder we got on the plateau.
I'm kind of hoping that might be part of what needs to be done for this. So I am going to make that roll. Hold on a second. Let's see if I have. See if what I did with that. Hold on a sec. Excellent. I did have some forethought. I had to double check. This morning I prepared enhanced ability because I wanted to put that on the ring.
Mhm.
So I have that prepared, and I still have 2 second level spell slots. So I'm going to use that enhanced ability during this investigation to see if I can, like I said, reverse engineer this. So
Okay.
this will just be one of 3 checks.
Yes, then the DC is 15 because it's an uncommon magic item.
Oh, natural 20.
All right, that's 2 successes.
2 successes. I haven't had that in so long. Apparently, I shook off whatever that was. That ended up my familiar being, well, not
Drake
exactly.
food.
Yeah, a Drake, a very confused Drake because
It goes
feeling
poof.
so good and then don't get anything out of this. All right.
Yes, very confused and then probably very irate Drake.
Yep. Well, I was hoping to prepare some potions. Not unfortunately the one I wanted to, but I can make some healing potions. So I think I will recast my spell for
Medicine.
hmm?
Wisdom, I think is what
Stability, yeah. And then I am going to I have 1 large mandrake root, so that can make 2 potions of greater healing, I
Yes.
think. Yeah, all right. So that's what I'll do. Oh, those are terrible rolls. Burn some luck.
And so
Oh,
it
that's
begins again.
hmm?
I said, and so it begins again. You burning through all your luck.
No, that was a success. So I used 1 luck, made some potions. And that is everything on my list. So the rest of the day, I guess I'll spend just relaxing.
All right.
And you're just going to spend the whole day working
Yes, I'm
on
going to spend a solid 8 hours transcribing to my grimoire to try and get that completed. So that brings down to 10 hours left.
Still 10 hours left?
It was 18
Oh, okay. I thought it
before
was less.
I knocked 8 off. But yeah,
Okay. All right. That is our day.
that is the major events of our day. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. We did cut that down quite a bit, which is nice.
Mm.
Otherwise, it'd go on forever. So now we can set up. Well, we have our camp set up. So all we need to do is I'll take first watch, and you can get some rest. My watch goes by uneventfully, and you have a nice, relaxing, uneventful sleep.
So nothing tries to read my mind this time.
No, maybe it learned its lesson.
Hmm.
Let's reverse those rolls, and I'll get my rest, and you can roll
Yeah.
away.
All right. 16.
All right. All right. Apparently, we're finally getting the rest we deserve. We wake up in the morning, And to our surprise, alarms have not gone off. The familiars have not spotted anything, but there are two scrolls sitting on, well, what we're using, probably some kind of log or rock or something that we've been using to sit on while we prepare our meals. And upon examining them, you now have a scroll for banishment, and I have a scroll for Bigby's hand.
All right.
All right. Maybe a while before we see him again, but that was not a bad reward.
Nope.
So, how would you like to spend this day?
Well, the first thing is we have to mark off more another day's worth of food today.
Yeah, we can't spend too long doing this, I suppose. How long are we out of Vern's Run now? Almost a month?
Yeah. Well, I have 28 days of food left.
28 days left?
Yeah.
How much did you buy?
I don't remember. I've been keeping track of it. I know I've been keeping on top of it, but
okay. Well, that's a lot. Okay.
yeah.
I know I bought a fair amount. But how much did I buy anyway? Hold on a sec. One of these things I should look at every now and then. Oh yeah, I bought like 48 days worth of food, but we've been through almost 30 days worth of food.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Nothing to worry about. We got a couple weeks at least.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't take that long to get down to Lyria.
Yeah.
Not that far.
So, considering we spent 2 more days here, I assume it's getting even chillier.
The mornings
Mhm.
are frosty.
Yes.
We haven't had any snow. Actually, it's been relatively clear. We're technically not, well, we're out of the mountains, but we are technically like in the foothills still. We are
Yes.
high enough up that we can see over the tops of the trees and we see glistening water in the distance. So basically, we are here, but high enough up that we can see this coastline right here.
Well, I guess we should start heading toward the coastline a little bit and out of these foothills, these mountains.
All right. I would like a survival check from you then, please. We are not hard terrain, but it is not a path. There's no markings here.
With your assistance?
Sure.
Right. Survival, I don't have, so 13.
Yeah, that's good enough. It's not, like I said, it's not difficult terrain. It's just not a road. So we start trudging down. The day does get warmer. Again, the weather is being rather nice to us, which is fine. This is this nice, calm late fall day. The leaves on the trees now are basically all the deciduous trees. They're basically bare at this point.
Yeah.
There's a fair amount of conifers this high up, so we don't really notice it until we start going down more. Once we get down a little bit, probably by about lunch, we're gonna no longer be able to see the water because, well, it is still a ways off. We're probably not going to get there today.
All right.
So lunch we have, and then we set back out. Another set of survival checks and a perception check too, please. You can have both with advantage because I'll be watching it and everything as well.
All right. So survival is a 19.
Yep.
And perception is a 20.
All right. So we are heading down. We're getting, like I said, we're getting out of the foothills. We are getting down more into, well, it's still rolling terrain. I don't think it's even, well, it was hard to tell from there because of all the trees, but it is going to be roughly hilly until basically we're down at the coast. But you do notice with that roll of 20, off to one side, about 50 to 100 yards away, seems to be a path of some kind.
Right, like a footpath.
Hard to tell from this distance. The only reason why you spotted it was that was a really good roll.
All right. Well, I'm going to point the path out to you over there. You think we should take a look at that?
Beats trudging through the woods, even though we both grew up trudging through woods.
Yes.
We'll make better progress if we find some sort of, structured path of some kind.
All right.
Right? Okay, so we head over that way. Calling it a road would be a bit of a stretch, but basically it seems to be some kind of possibly an old logging road. There are two ruts that you can still see. The rest is just overgrown with weeds and plants and all that sort of stuff. But you can see, and it is actually much easier to walk on because you don't have to climb over anything anymore. So don't really need any more survival checks if you want to follow the road. The road is heading in the right direction. It is heading down towards the west.
All right, let's follow the road then.
Okay. It is, like I said, very, very old road, very disused. Not entirely sure the last time anyone's been on it. You could roll a survival check if you want to see if there are any tracks.
17?
You do indeed find some tracks, but they're all animal tracks. They seem to be using it because, well, hey, they don't want to walk through the woods either. It is easier for them to make distance and time by taking use of this. So it's almost become more like a game trail than anything else.
Maybe we'll run into some hunters.
You never know. So the day wears on. Let's see what the weather's doing. You hear a distant rumbling.
Like thunder?
It's hard to tell. You can roll a perception check if you like.
14.
You probably would get that as a guess. You're not certain, but it does sound like rolling thunder. It does seem to be a little bit darker, relatively early, you thought.
Okay. Are some storm clouds gathering?
Well, we're in the forest.
Yes.
Again, mostly still conifers, so we can't really see the sky really well. Not where we are, but you get the feeling something is rolling in as the day progresses. It is getting closer to supper time now anyway, so you get the impression setting up a camp might be a good idea.
All right. I'm going to look for a spot off the road that we can set up camp at.
All right. That'll be a survival check.
With your assistance?
Yep.
Oh, dear. 7!
Well, apparently the urgency has struck home, and we settle upon putting something up really, really quite quickly. And as it turns out, it does actually pay off because the weather really worsens very, very fast. By the time I have the hut going, before you get the alarms, it starts to, wind picks up. It looks like it's any second now. There's going to be a complete downpour. There's thunder and lightning, and a storm is really rolling in really fast. So, do you want to take the chance and set up the alarm spells, or do you want to just hunker down in the hut and ride it out?
I'll take the time to set up the alarm spell.
Alright, roll me a 20-sided die.
Am I adding anything?
Nope.
12.
Alright. The rain is definitely coming down by the time you're finished.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in the hut looking at you. Fortunately, you love water, so I'm not feeling too bad for you. But there's the lightning strikes. By the time you're done, there's lightning strikes like right in this area, and it is quite nasty.
All right then.
Take shelter.
Yes. Not the first storm we've had to take shelter from, though. From the
No,
hut.
this is actually a rather intense one. Um, Nothing really unusual. Very strong winds. I mean, this is not the one in Vern's Run where half of the dockside disappeared kind of storm, but it is a really intense. Lots of lightning, lots of flashes, and definitely there's going to be some trees knocked down, that kind of thing. So, I would like you to roll a group perception check. This time at disadvantage,
Oh, okay.
because it is very difficult to perceive anything in this storm.
Natural 1.
Oh, that
Advantage.
is during the night. Doesn't really matter. Whoever's on watch is going to start seeing, kind of during the flashes, there seems to be some form of humanoids moving from, like, furtively from tree to tree in our vicinity. And then that person lights up the other person. And yes, you do see something. You're not sure what it is.
Well, the interior of the hut is lit. Or can be.
Yeah, you light it up.
Yeah, but there's no, it doesn't help us outside. It's dark outside except for flashes of lightning.
According to the spell,
Yeah.
as long as I stay inside,
Yeah.
we're good. You can leave. We can throw something outside. Technically, we can cast spells through it. But at the moment, we are inconspicuous. And looking from the outside, all they see is an opaque dome.
Yeah.
So if you want to, like...
I do not think we can cast spells through the dome. I'm pretty sure we've had that come up before.
Yeah, but I think you can cast, like, a light cantrip on...
Cast spells inside here, but they won't go through the dome. No.
But you can throw the coin at it.
Yes.
Yes.
But we can't, like, cast magic missiles out from...
No, that would make the spell way too powerful.
Yes.
Because you would just dome up the place, sit in there, and blast at monsters all day.
Yes.
No, magic can't pass through that way. And then I assume maybe even the cantrip can't go through. I don't know. That's just not worried about it for the moment.
Well, I assume there's plenty of stones around here that one of us can cast a light on.
Where we're laying right now? Probably, because we did a really bad job at picking a site. I would like you to roll a perception check at disadvantage first for me, please.
Disadvantage 11.
A bit better. Maybe adrenaline's hitting in a little bit. Yes, you try to light up the place a little bit. It doesn't help a whole lot because as soon as there's some form of activity, whatever these things are, seem to withdraw.
All right.
But you do get kind of vague sensations of humanoid. Seem to have rather large heads. Possibly a tail. They have 2 arms, 2 legs. Beyond that, no. And then we don't see them again. The lightning storm and rain and everything else does subside because it was a heavy storm. They don't usually last very long. And then the rest of the evening is calm, dripping water, that sort of thing. And the rest of the night passes uneventfully.
All right.
So we wake up.
Wake up.
Place is wet.
Place is wet. Yes. Probably going to want to get a fire going.
Yep. We have no trouble starting a fire because, well, magic.
Prestidigitation. Yeah.
Yeah. There are indeed a few downed trees. Some of them have been struck by lightning. Some are just blown over by the wind.
Right.
And it is now an overcast morning, and it is profoundly chilly.
You must be miserable.
Yeah, I'm having fun. And matter of fact, you'll notice some of the puddles have a little bit of ice around the rim of them. It's right close to freezing point.
Well, 1 week to winter now.
Yeah. So yeah, we have a hot meal, which I'm thoroughly happy for.
And I also enjoy.
Yep. And thus
Despite the fact at this
fortified.
point, we're probably getting a little tired of whatever rations we brought with us.
Yeah, I mean, if we had to eat them cold, it would just be misery upon misery. This is heating it up is actually fine.
Yeah.
Actually, remind me next time we're in a civilized part of the world to buy some spices. It would be nice to like add a different flavor to this stuff when we're out here.
Yes, we want different flavor to our salted meat and hardtack and dried fruits and stuff.
Yeah, there you go. Some spices, something with a bite to it, like chili peppers or something. Anyway,
Garlic.
garlic, anything, onions, something. So that thought in mind. Oh, by the way, when we get to Lyria, we're gonna find a really good restaurant.
Assuming they have one.
This city is fabled for this longevity. It's gotta have some good eats there, otherwise people wouldn't want to live there. So we do our stuff, we get our stuff ready, and we start heading towards the coast along the road. The ruts now are full of water. Well,
All right.
periodically, because they're a perfect spot for puddles.
Before we go too far, I want to look around for signs of those creatures we saw last night.
All right. It is overcast. It is a bit dim here. There's a lot of rain. So if you want to look for tracks, survival check, but it will definitely be a disadvantage.
All right, well, I'm gonna take a look. 5.
Well, the rain and wind and lightning has done its job. Any tracks either been eradicated or they're extremely good at covering their own tracks up, which is a possibility as well.
All right,
On we go.
on we go.
All right. We continue. We are hard to tell with this pointer, but you see that last dot there
Yes.
in the arrow? We're just passing that now. We can actually hear waves.
All right.
We are maybe half a day march from the coast. So we start off in the morning. So roughly around lunchtime when we're sitting down for our midday meal, we are definitely within earshot of the coast. And every now and then we peek and we see through the trees, which are now almost exclusively deciduous, so no foliage to worry about. We can see water, and you can see the bit of sun that peeks out every now and then, glints off the waves. So yeah, we're almost there.
All right.
We have lunch, and this, as we head out, I would like one more perception check. This one at advantage because we're both kind of eager and looking.
At this rate, we might actually make it to Lyria before winter sets in.
You jinxed us now.
14.
All right. As we're actually all sec. Over here. All right. That's all I want to know. Okay. We're heading down. The incline now is getting more noticeable. Travel is quite a bit easier. And in short order, we get to the point where the trees are sparse enough now that we can actually see the coast quite clearly. And I'm going to change graphics because in moments we are greeted by this sight. We're coming down this road, which seems to be actually a lot more solid. not used necessarily, but it seems to have, at one point in time, stones were paved into this,
Mhm.
and it's just much worse for wear as more than anything else. And I'll give you a description of this place because this is the best I could do with the graphics.
Well,
But
I assume this
this,
was at one point a bridge.
no, this is at one point. Oh, sorry. I
Yeah.
keep wanting to point at the single with my fingers. This,
Yeah.
at one point, was some sort of either bridge or causeway, and this is very much either a fort or tower, and it is in extreme disrepair.
I can see that.
No, this is actually being very generous.
Mhm.
You assume at some point there was a fair amount of um, floors or structure above this,
Mhm.
but it's all collapsed. It's all, I mean, it has seen some serious time and possibly even experienced a battle or two. And because it is pockmarked with burned sections and definitely sections that look like have been blasted by something, who knows. This has all fallen into disrepair. Underneath, well, we're not quite there. We're just basically just off screen here.
Mhm.
Above the water, not a whole lot. You're looking at maybe half to three quarters of what we refer to as a floor. You can't really see here, but I do have my owl back now. We'll probably do a flyover, and this is the kind of thing we're going to see
Mhm.
uh, as we get closer. This is indeed underneath here. There is a lot of rubble. This is like I said, causeway, bridge, whatever, has collapsed.
All right.
And we do have a few, as you see, stone structure that's above the water. But to give you an idea of scale,
Mhm.
this is your standard longboat. It doesn't float anymore. It's just
Oh,
stuck.
that's quite
It's
the
stuck in
distance.
it's stuck in the weeds. This is from one end to the other about 10 feet. This place is quite massive, and yeah, it hasn't seen well, human habitation or whoever built this thing in centuries. Now, with that perception roll,
Mhm.
as we are approaching, you do see something splash in the water, kind of like you know how things like fish will arc,
Mhm.
like dolphin kind of thing, in the water, and then it is all still.
All right.
So because I said it, my owl will send my owl as a flyover,
Mhm.
and I will roll a perception check for her. Huh, that's not very good. Uh, there is basically what you see here. Lots of rubble, lots of thoroughly smashed and decayed boxes, barrels, equipment of various kinds,
Mhm.
lots of moss, lots of basically plants growing in all the little nooks and crannies. And these things you see here are light in color on the map, but these are pitch dark and seem to lead down into water.
All right. So we're not probably gonna be able to walk across this causeway. It's probably we'd have to swim across in all likelihood.
It is well, this is 10 feet, so
Yep.
you can misty step to here. Or if you want this way, you can misty step here, and then misty step there. Use up
That would take a lot of spells.
all your second level spell slots gone, but you can stay dry.
I don't mind that. So
Yeah. But
it,
there's me.
who does not know how to misty step
I don't know how to misty step.
and never seems to remember to prepare a fly?
Yeah, I did redo my spells. What do I have?
Oh, is this the day? Is it finally time?
No.
I didn't think so.
Nope. And and I don't think it's worth casting that high level spell anyway to keep dry. There are some fallen logs. I could make it a little easier. This water, by the way, is bloody well cold.
All right. Well,
This
I have
is
my boots.
yeah, we know. How do you propose that we do this?
Well, if we want to go in there, we're either going to be wading along this causeway or just swimming. Right.
You can't wade. Well, actually, I don't know for sure. You can go up to the edge if you want and do a perception check to see if there is enough rubble underneath the water to give you that option.
How deep is this? Natural one. I can't tell.
All right. Between the waves and actually a bit of ice. No, you have no idea.
All right. Well, we can swim across.
You stop with that.
How else are we getting in there?
I was thinking of making a raft.
Well, we're going to run into a problem with that.
Then what's that?
We've run out of rope.
Oh yeah, our rope is all gone. All right, give me a little bit of time here. I am going to try and jury rig at least some kind of semi raft out of vines and logs I can find, and try and stay dry. You willing to take a bit of a breather?
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna roll a survival check at disadvantage because I've never done this before. So at disadvantage, that is going to be a 12. I would call that
10.
I would call that a semi-success. It may not make it all the way across, but for part of the way it'll be dry.
All right.
So a bit of time's gone by. What are you doing in the interim besides sitting on a rock watching me do this?
I am going to be keeping watch because there's been some activity around here lately.
All right. I would like you to roll one more perception check, just straight perception.
9.
Nothing else seems to be happening.
Okay.
All right. We haul, or I haul, we haul because I'm not that strong and neither are you.
Yep.
I makeshift raft. I have a pole too, which is just basically a stick. One of the fallen trees. We put it in the water. And I'm going to try and pull this thing across this gap. It's not that big a gap, and I do have almost a guiding thing here. This is more of a will this thing survive, which will be the first roll. Oh, that's not good. This is a steering thing. Oh, that's better. I seem to be able to pull quite well. But so I start pulling. And right about here, my handiwork seems to be falling apart. So by the time I get about here, I'm frantically putting on a cap of water breathing. And I am now standing on a single log. Do you want to stay on this thing, or are you just going to dive in the water?
I'll just swim across.
All right, so you dive in the water, and I'm going to make a dexterity saving throw to see if I can do a lumberjack Paul Bunyan log rolling thing and stay on top of this thing as I'm trying to get across here.
I honestly expect you to say pole vault.
Yeah. Nope. I roll a natural 1.
You are going in the water.
I go in the water, but I go in a spectacular fashion.
Spectacular failure.
Yeah. I belly flop into the water.
All that effort for nothing.
Well, I tried.
You tried. You made it halfway across without getting wet.
Yeah, and now I am soaked and miserable. I am bloody well cold. Yeah. Actually, I should probably roll a Constitution saving throw for that, because that is immediate immersion in almost freezing water.
Yeah, system shock.
With my amazing Constitution and my power of my stone, it's over 20. So
Yes, I'm surprised you are concerned, considering what our constitutions are like.
yeah, and I am currently proficient in Constitution saving throws, but it just doesn't seem right.
My character is quite literally superhuman at this point in Constitution.
Yeah, yeah. Got your little stones circling your head?
Yep.
Okay. You don't really care anyway. You got the boots. You don't even need to worry about it. All right.
Yes, I'm very well equipped for this. Between my high constitution, my boots of the Winterlands, and my ability to breathe underwater.
Okay. So I splash into the water. So if any kind of stealth approach was on the agenda, that just got blown out of the water. All right.
Well, you're not immediately being swarmed by sharks or something, so.
No. I would like you to roll a perception check, please. You're in the water already, so okay. I don't get that roll.
22.
All right. Besides my spectacular, almost like theatrical splashing of my belly flop into the water, you notice movement heading towards us. Because of that wonderful roll, we are not surprised.
Good.
When these 5 individuals who are hiding around here materialize out of the weeds and the rocks and everything else and are surrounding us. So we can roll for initiative.
Okay.
But yeah, if it wasn't for that perception roll, we'd be in a little bit of trouble here. All right, my initiative roll. Oh, this should not happen, but I'm going to give it because I rolled it. Natural 20.
Yeah. I have a 5.
You, who are perceptive and actually notice this, are going. Hold on a sec. Last.
Unsurprising.
It's close. All right. We are. Oh, sorry. Wait till you're done there.
Okay.
We notice.
So we're still in the water.
We're in the water. Yes. That is a given. We notice 5 humanoids swimming towards us. They have well, they're clawed fingers, but they have webs on them. Okay. They also have webs on their feet. They have a long undulating tail, which is really propelling them quite quickly. And I am going to, really early in this, I didn't expect to do this just as soon, but I drew a picture of these guys. So let's have a look.
All right. Go!
This is what we see.
That's not humanoid.
It's kind of humanoid-ish.
Sailback lamprey dinosaur.
Yeah. I couldn't really get the webbing between the fingers because of the drawing.
That's
and
right.
These as well. It has fins on the back, lots of finnage, or like an eel-like tail.
Mm-hmm.
It has a bit of a crest on the head. No eyes.
I did notice that, yeah.
And this mouth is cross between, yes, a lamprey or a leech or something along those lines.
All right, well, that implies
that we're in trouble.
They can do nasty things with that mouth.
Yeah. So, I am up first. This is not a good situation. All right. We're being surrounded. So basically, because there's 5 of these things.
Oh, they're on both sides?
Yeah, there's 3 arrayed here coming through these things, and there's 2 here. And I have initiative. Ooh, tough call. There's 2 things I can do.
Alright.
I can get us out of here, if you're worried about this. Or I can try and kill, well, 1, probably the 3.
It's up to you, really?
No preference?
Well, even if I do, I'm not going until after them anyway.
Well, I think time to fish out a good buddy of mine. I'm gonna try
Fireball.
trying to fireball the group of 3.
Okay, just don't hit any of us. Do you want me to roll their saving throws?
Yes, 3, please.
That's pretty sure. Oh, you're not going to like this.
Well, fireball is always letting me down anyway.
Did you get a good roll at least?
No.
Yeah. One rolled a 4.
Yep.
One rolled a 16.
Yep.
And one rolled a 19.
2 passes, 1 fail.
I suspected those were going to succeed, yeah.
Yeah. So, I keep adding this up, hoping it's going to be a bigger number. 24 points of damage.
Okay, so 2 take 12. It takes 24. And there's 2 more of them.
Yes, which means I need some statistics of what's going on here.
Well, let's hope they do not have a lot of hit points.
Oh, that is interesting. This may sound weird, but I forgot about this. I made these guys up, and
Yes.
I forgot about one thing when I made my decision on what to do.
What?
The fire seems to be doing more damage than...
Oh, they're vulnerable to fire.
They're vulnerable to fire. 1 has succumbed.
Okay, yeah, the one that took 48 points of fire damage, I imagine.
Yes, the other 2... Well, they're not screaming because they don't have that capacity. But I would like you to roll a... Not so much a wisdom saving throw or anything, but I would like you to roll first a... This doesn't even fit in any real categories. I'm going to make it wisdom, but what you're doing is you're sensing something. This is not perception per se, though.
It is probably the closest thing you could think of.
Yeah.
Alright, well, wisdom and perception are the same roll for me, so that's 15 total.
Alright. You definitely, in your mind, feel screaming.
Oh, they're telepathic.
Yeah. And this is... well, 1 got cut off real fast. The other 2 are not happy. And then we come to their initiative.
Well, I imagine they're not happy with you.
Yep. The 2 that got fricasseed have turned tail and have disappeared.
Alright, so they're semi-intelligent.
The other 2, who haven't really clued in yet because...
Well, they don't have eyes, so I guess they didn't see the fireball.
They're blind. They felt a concussion. They felt their companions screaming, but they didn't get the full story, so to speak, and decided to attack.
Right.
Their method of attack is they get within 30 feet of us, and then all of a sudden the water's filled with electricity.
Oh no, they're electric eels!
I would like you to roll a. Sorry, I have to figure out which one. Pretty sure it's Constitution, but I already forgot one thing about them. Yep, Constitution saving throw, please. Which actually at the moment is really good for you.
Well, it's better than it was. Yep. Okay. 21.
Those bonuses really help.
I also rolled a 16.
Obviously, that is a pass.
Yep. There's still probably gonna be some damage coming.
Yep. So they are relatively intelligent, and they have positioned themselves so that we are both being hit by each of these blasts. So the first one you made, and you take. Look, that's a bad roll. 4 points of electrical damage.
Yep. It's a bad roll halved as well.
Yep. And now I'd like you to roll another Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay. Not as good. 14.
Still a pass.
Okay, so the DC is not high.
For, again, a bad roll. 5 hit points each.
How did you handle that?
Well, you don't mean my Constitution saving throws.
Yes, it's actually better than mine.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So there's some sort of electric eels style creature.
Seemed to be. That was unpleasant. And we now come to you in the initiative order.
Alright. So they're both within 30 feet of us.
Yes. So basically, because I did my big dive right about here, and you were watching me do the big dive, one came in this way, the other came in this way. The other, well, there's a floating body here now.
Dead one, and the others are swimming
The
away.
other two they're here, and they swam off into this direction here, and you've lost track of them.
Alright. Question. Can I fit both of them in a 30-foot cone?
Alright, they are not moving at the moment because they did their discharge.
Yeah.
They are not in position for one where you are currently at. You're here.
Yeah.
One's here. One's here. You would have to move around to the other side of me and aim it this way. Your move rate in the water is
The same as on land, so 30 feet.
I don't think so. No. Well, actually, if you don't mind, no, even still, if you even went here, which is definitely 30 feet, then blast your cone this way. All right. This is 10, 20. It's really close. You'd have to get close to this guy, and I would probably give this guy advantage on his saving throw. If you want to do that.
It sounds like a no.
It's feasible, but stretching it. It's 30 feet, right?
Yes, it's 30-foot cone.
Yeah, and this is quite a spread of distance.
Alright. Well, in that case... I am going to aim at the nearest one.
Yep.
And I'm going to hit it with Magic Missile at 3rd level.
Alright, roll away. This one is uninjured.
Yes. That is part of the problem, unfortunately. Two more. 16 points of force damage.
Good shot. And
Yeah, it's not weak to force.
Not weak to force, but not resistant either, and not immune. It took the damage, does not like it. You again won't have your roll every time. You do feel that sensation in your mind of unhappiness, screaming, whatever you want to call it.
Yep. All right.
How are you going to move?
I am going to try and swim towards the entrance of this tower.
Okay,
There you
so
go.
you are currently right here.
Yeah.
You can make it to this wall,
Yeah.
or whatever you want to call it, but you don't have enough movement left to climb out.
Okay.
So you're in the water, roughly here.
It also gets us out of range, hopefully, of that electrical attack.
Yes, and I'm right here. Alright, I'm gonna see if I saw what you did. The water is relatively clear, so it's not easy DC, but it is a combat. I did not see what you did. It was partially obscured by that pillar that's in front of me. I can assume what you did, but I don't know. I see you swimming off.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? I noticed how well my fire worked. So I think what I might do... Oh, one sec. Keep track of a few things here. I don't want anything to go awry. I am going to cast Chromatic Orb at second level.
Alright. Setting it to fire, I assume.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I saw it and I'm very happy about that. So I am going to aim at the one I can see. I can't really see this one because I'm right here.
That was it.
Kind of in the way. But this one here is right, very obvious and well within range. Oh, that'd be a 1. I'll re-roll that. Nice. I don't like 1s. So that becomes well over their armor class. Yes. Alright. Does that work? 2d10 fire damage. That was 13 points of damage, which doubles to 26. And you really don't need to roll a perception roll for that agonizing scream, because it is very, very loud.
Alright. Is it still active or alive?
It is still alive.
Alright.
We come to their initiatives. They are not in combat with us, and they swim off.
All of them?
2 had already left. The 2 that were remaining have now swum off.
Alright. Well, that was not too bad.
Yeah. It went relatively painlessly for our side. Okay. I join you, and now together we can climb up onto here.
Right. So what do we see when we get up there?
This is actually difficult terrain, and not a difficult terrain that you are comfortable with. It's not ice, a bit ice. Actually, never mind. Actually, you don't have to roll. It is relatively icy, but mostly it is very slick and covered in moss and stuff, but it's close enough. And I'm fine. We do manage to scramble up onto this. It is a slippery surface. And we do indeed see, well, less so now. We can't really see all of this because these walls do exist, but they're not even. They're not like walls. They're these are just the tops of well, tumble down walls, rubble. You can see some of the is actually gone altogether. This was a door, but it is now in shambles. You can actually see through the door, and yes, there is rock everywhere, and these lighter things are actually seem to be ice.
Right, so there's ice in here.
Yep, it is a bit misty, which is what you see outside, and a little misty in here too. Nothing enough to obscure your normal vision. The floor is relatively intact where you are currently, but you can see there are holes that lead down into whatever's below this thing.
Yeah.
All right. What would you like to do?
Well, just off immediately from the entrance here. Is this a door?
I have no idea where you're pointing.
Basically,
Yes.
that, yes.
That is a broken door that you can actually see through.
All right.
There seems to be its partner here, but it's completely destroyed and covered in rubble.
Okay. Well, I guess I can take a step into this side room here.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is no ceiling here.
Yeah. Well, that just gives us light then.
Yeah, it's well lit. It's daytime, and yeah, none of this here is covered by anything. So you can actually just see all this. Some of it you can just actually look over the wall and see. Sometimes the wall's high enough that you have to, go around and have a look, but you don't really see anything else up here. I am going to do a couple rolls for a second.
All right.
So you two, yeah, you. All right. I would like you to roll a perception check. You can do an advantage because I'm here. My owl is currently out.
All right. 20 total.
You hear sounds. You're here currently.
Yeah.
It seems to be more coming from this direction. The sounds are of splashing a little bit and muffled voices.
All right. I'm going to tell you that I hear.
Possibly to the point of like moaning.
All right. I'm going to say I hear something coming from in this room.
And you point in this direction.
Yep.
All right. How would you like to proceed?
Cautiously.
Does that mean rolling stealth checks?
Yes, but also means just keeping an eye out. I'm trying to keep my footing and stepping carefully because I imagine there's a lot of. It's rather easy to lose one's footing in here.
Yes, it is difficult terrain. So half move rate, but not really important while we're taking our time.
Okay. And then
So
stealth.
roll stealth. Yep.
All right. All right. 21.
Very good. You easily pick your way through. With that roll as well, you're not in having any difficulty with the terrain at all. We make our way through here, and we start to climb over here and make it to that with that roll. And yeah, you can definitely hear sounds. Again, the same sounds, and they seem to be coming from this hole.
Which was filled with water.
Well, it's difficult because this is a top-down view. We get a better view. It is basically a collapsed section of floor. And from where we're standing currently, it is basically just a hole.
Okay. Well, it's not. We can't see what's in that hole.
Not until you go up to it and have a look. We are currently about 15 feet back from it.
Okay. I'm going to summon Alice.
All right.
And I'm going to have her tiptoe over to it, cat-like.
Okay.
And just take a look in the hole.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, I'm going to unsummon my owl because if we're going down into things, not the very best for flapping in holes.
Well, if the section below is flooded, Alice isn't going to be happy either.
All right, so first, I would like you to roll a stealth check for the kitty cat.
All right. Four to this. 13.
Huh, interesting. All right. She paws her way over.
Yeah.
Looks down. Are you looking through her eyes?
Yes.
All right. I hang onto your shoulder, and you have a look. You see a room below you.
Okay.
The room is half flooded with water, and
Right.
someone or something has gone to the pains of strapping some fallen branches, various wooden implements, and old tables together to make sort of some kind of rafts. Some of them are sunk, some of them are broken. And huddled on these rafts are a number of humanoids, and animals. They are all very badly off. Uh, you can roll a perception check. I'll give you details based on that.
All right. 16.
They look emaciated.
Mhm.
They look malnourished.
Mhm.
There does seem to be some form of provisions here. And they are like huddled together on these little rafts. They're shivering, they're cold, they're obviously been mistreated, and you do see wounds on them.
All right.
Circular wounds.
Sorry?
Circular wounds.
Yeah. Prisoners of these creatures that we encountered.
Yeah. They are miserable. As miserable as you can get and still be alive.
All right. Well, I don't see any way getting down there apart from actually just jumping in the hole, obviously.
Yeah, you're looking these stories, the floor to ceiling, you're not entirely sure of because we haven't been here before, but floor ceiling to water is about 15 feet.
And the raft is beneath the hole?
Uh okay, Alice is peeking around. I'm trying to do this from memory without showing you yet. You see a cluster of them over here. There seems to be one or two here, and there's a bunch of rubble around the hole, and then there seems to be more rafts. Basically
Okay.
all the way through this chamber. But some of them have individuals on them, some of them have foodstuffs, but the foodstuffs look nothing you'd want to eat.
No, but it might be something these creatures want to eat.
Hmm.
All right. So we can't just have Alice jump down onto the raft to take a look.
If you roll a dexterity check for her, she could make the leap. It's not a dexterity check for her ability to do so, more of a dexterity check to make sure she lands on a raft, not in the water.
She's a cat. She probably doesn't want to do that.
She will do whatever you tell her to do, which
Yes.
is an unfortunate aspect of this.
But that's not how I treat my familiar.
Exactly.
All right. Well, there was a staircase in the center of this.
All right. With that thought in mind, and you look this direction, you do see that this curve continues in the next room.
In the next room?
Down below.
Down below. Okay. So the staircase keeps going down.
Yeah, you surmise from the fact that that curvature is still there, that whatever that is continues down into that area.
All right. And I said, well, there seems to be some sort of pen / pantry.
Where are we having this conversation?
Back in this previous room.
So we're going to move back into here?
Yeah.
Okay. I would like
I'm
you
gonna
to
have
roll
Alice come with me.
Hmm?
Alice is gonna come with us.
Yeah, okay. Stealth check for the conversation with advantage.
21 again.
All right. So, what do you want to say?
I said, apparently there is a pen, or I guess a pantry, as another way of looking at it, of people and animals down there on rafts. In the next chamber below, it's flooded.
Yeah.
But I think the staircase leads down that way.
So that is our decision then to try getting down this staircase into the next floor below.
Yes, I think I'm going to have Alice precede us so we can take a look first.
All right. So we had this conversation here. We head back out the way we came.
Yeah.
And then we're going to head over to here.
Yeah.
And Alice is going to precede us.
So yes, so we're going to stay at the top first, and I'm going to send Alice down.
All right. Stealth check for her, please.
All right. 10.
She starts creeping down.
Mhm.
Gets around here and starts to look down. And just, are you watching through her eyes?
Yes.
Okay. There is a sudden burst of electricity. Roll a saving throw for her, please. I don't need to roll.
10. I don't think cats have a constitution bonus.
Doesn't matter. And then Alice is no longer with us.
No! This is a bad session for our familiars.
Yeah, one wyvern and one electrified cat.
Okay.
All right. You were looking through, I assume you had one of us had your shoulder or whatever, and you were looking
Yes.
through her eyes as she went down. She went down just as she's looking underneath. Her eyes met one of these creatures, and then.
All right, yeah. Well, there's at least one of those things down there.
Yeah. So what you saw
Mhm.
is this hole is really dark. This is a little bit lighter because as she came down, notice that there's floor here, but
Yeah.
she was still not at the bottom of the stairs as she was looking underneath, and that's when that all happened. And yes, there's something here, a corridor of some kind, but it's flooded. And all she saw was something with its basically just its head above the water almost.
All right, there's a flooded corridor down there, and the last thing Alice saw before she was fried was that there's one of those things down there.
All right. What would you like to do proceeding?
Well, if we're going to rescue these people, which
Yep.
these creatures don't seem to be rather pleasant, we should was probably a good idea.
Yeah, I don't care who we are. We would never leave humans, humanoids, even the animals, to these things.
To
We
these
have to
creatures who,
be.
for all intents and purposes, seem to have some sort of almost vampiric quality to them.
Yeah, they're basically just food for them.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
our natures.
We know they do not like fire.
Yeah. They met the wrong wizard today, I tell you. I'm in a mood to burn things to the ground.
All right, well, we'll see how effective that is. Against them, probably a good idea. Against this building, not so much.
It's mostly stone. There's some wood
And
structure on
water.
it, and a lot of water. But yeah.
All right, well, I suggest we go down cautiously to try and take this one by surprise, because there might be more than just one.
All right. That is going to require a stealth check.
Yes. I seem to have used up my good stealth rolls on the prisoners.
What'd you get?
11.
Hard to believe, but we have a pair of 11s.
So, averaged out, that's 11.
11 plus 11 divided by 2 is 11.
Well, we usually take the average of the two numbers for group checks. That is above passive, barely. Maybe not these creatures passive. Especially not since they're blind.
They use actually no, this is different. Roll we're gonna stick with wisdom. It seems the best one, best suited for this. Roll a wisdom check.
Natural 20.
I'm gonna give this to you because you deserve it. First off, you can have inspiration.
Oh,
Secondly, I would like you to roll an intelligence check.
Just straight intelligence?
Yeah.
11. Again.
It's good enough. I didn't make the DC hardest. You got a distinct impression of, again, a thought in your mind and then because of your experience dealing with psychic things and premonitions and everything else, you get the impression that what you felt was something saying intruders. Not obviously that specific word.
That sense.
That's the nuances of the feeling that you got for what just happened.
Yeah, not everything in telepathy is words.
Yeah. You got that impression that we screwed up.
Yep, they know we're
We're
here.
here. Yep. And at that point, we're going to take a break.
Okay.